So let's take a look at the build. These are the perk cards that we have at the moment. We have 15 in strength, 1 in perception, 3 in endurance, 6 in charisma, 5 in intelligence, 15 in agility, and 11 in luck. So we're going with Travelling Pharmacy, Iron Fist, Blocker, Incisor, and Martial Artist. Everything there other than Travelling Pharmacy is helping us for our unarmed build. We have Concentrated Fire, which is useful for when we switch over to our sidearm, which is typically a 10mm pistol. Adamantium Skeleton and Radical. We've got a couple of charisma perks here that we probably will switch out. We normally have these when we're teamed. Probably looking at Field Surgeon and Party Boy at this point. Intelligence, we go with Nerd Rage, Scrapper and Chemist because we like to have those passives on. I typically forget to use those cards when, you know, scrapping things down and making chems, so it's nice to have those on. Agility, we're going with big agility here. We've got Ninja Sneak. Escape Artist I'm new to using, so I don't know how well that'll fare. Adrenaline as well as Dodgy as well. And then moving into luck, we've got Serendipity, which is a massive card. Be sure to pick that one up if you don't like to take damage. Class Freak, Starch Genes, which is obviously a super powerful card, and Bloody Mess. Moving on to our mutations, we are rocking a few of these today. Adrenal Reaction, Bird Bones, Carnivore, Eagle Eyes, Grounded, Healing Factor, Marsupial, Scaly Skin, Speed Demon, Talons, and Twisted Muscles. Now, obviously, if you want to look at these in more detail, you can pause the video here. We are using Class Freak to negate some of those negative effects and essentially help us out a bit here. Moving on to weapons, we've got a Mole Miner's Gauntlet. This is a 3-star, faster swing speed, +1 strength. Bloodied Mole Miner Gauntlet. This is essentially our god roll, but we did get it from the purveyor, so we're pretty happy to keep that. Our sidearm is a 10mm pistol, which is a Bloodied VATS hit chance, +1 agility. It's a nice sidearm, great VATS accuracy on that one. We've also got a quad explosive 44 revolver. This one's been gifted as from Viewbot331, who is another Fallout 76 streamer, so be sure to check him out. Thank you so much for that one. So on to the silo itself. This is Charlie, so this is in the south of the map. There's 3 silos on the map for those who are new to the game wondering what this is all about. We are a Bloodied melee build. We're going to be taking on some ghouls as we enter here. We're going to be taking on some turrets and robots once we're inside. So if you've got any troubleshooters, weapons or armor, that might be useful to apply at this point. We're using a full set of Unyielding. I think most of them are 2 stars, so they're not fully overpowering pieces, but Unyielding's probably the best armor in the game, so be aware of that. Just a quick note that I do stream on Twitch pretty much every day. We stream a lot of Fallout 76, so if you do want to join our community, feel free to come over to twitch.tv/BlackwellTV. Check out our streams. As I say, I normally stream the UK sort of office hours or the UK office day. So yeah, be sure to come over if you want to join our community. All right, so we're taking on the silo. We need to pick up a biometric card, which is the blue card. You'll see them dotted about the place. You need to take a biometric scan. I'm going to clear up some robots as well because they seem to be stockpiling on our position. Once your biometric data is done, you'll need to erase the card that you've already picked up. Now, some people do miss the deleter, the eraser just on the side here, the ID card eraser. It's super important that you erase the details on the card before you register. Otherwise, you won't be able to get through the laser grid. Once your card is made, you'll need to register it with the system. So go through here, head through to the left-hand side, and you won't need to use the computer itself, but you do need to scan it. So make sure you do that, and then the laser grid will turn from red to blue. So you can see a switch into the sidearm. Typically I will do this for silo turrets when they're just out of reach for the melee. So super useful. You get some great VATS accuracy on this one anyway, because it's got the VATS plus 33% chance of hitting. So it's pretty decent. As you can see, we don't have much perception, so we can't do the lockpicking route. So we're going to have to do the pipes route, which is fine with me, but I do understand there are other ways of doing the silo. Typically, the sneaking, lockpicking, and hacking way would be the quickest way, But as I say, we don't want to adjust the build just for that, so we're not going to. We'll take a hazmat suit, we'll go in there, we'll do the long haul, we'll do the graft, and then we'll get through it. Essentially what you want to do in here is head to the terminal, turn off the reactor, and then fix all the pipes and restart the reactor afterwards. You'll have about 3 minutes to do so, and hopefully you can get that done. And now there's the simple task of fixing the pipes. Now I don't know how these pipes actually get fixed. It just seems that we go up to it, we press E, and they magically repair themselves. You don't lose any materials, you don't even see any action of them being repaired. It's a very strange one, but apparently this is how you fix pipes in Appalachia or in the Fallout universe. Head over to it and just press E, and it magically repairs. Weird, eh? It's funny, we were talking about Immersion in Fallout 76 recently, actually, on a stream that I moderate. And it was really strange because, like, the immersion is ruined during a blast zone. It's like, why is that? Because it's a blast zone and it clears up after 3 hours, and it's confined to a perfect circle, and it doesn't spread across the landscape, and it doesn't completely annihilate the anything. It doesn't even destroy a building when a nuke hits, you know. So there are plenty of ways that the game can break the immersion, but you just buy into the world because it's fun, you know, it's enjoyable. I know this game gets bashed on a lot. I died there, never mind. I don't know how I died there, to be honest. To this day, I don't know how I died. I know the lead engineer was knocking about. I turned that off. Don't know why that was alive. And it one-shotted me. Don't understand it. I'll maybe look at it back after the commentary. But yeah. So the blast zone stays exactly contained in that circle, which is bloody convenient. And it doesn't destroy any trees. The only thing it does is change crops colour and turns it into, you know, flux. That's literally all it does. Oh, and it spawns, you know, glowing ghouls and a Scorched Beast Queen and a Wendigo Colossus if necessary, you know, if it's in the right spot. But, I mean, if you get to that point of the game and you're thinking, the immersion's just been broken by a blast zone, then you've missed out on all the things, you know? Fixing pipes just by pressing E and magically it gets fixed. Picking up an item. Like I don't know, you start the game, you go to Flatwoods, you go to pick up a desk fan or something, and you don't see your hand reach out to pick it up. It's just, whoop, it's invisible now, it's in your inventory. It's like, there's no animation for that. It's just, if you got to the nuke point and the game's immersion's broken for you, then, my friend, you have not looked at some of the basic fundamentals of the game. Like, we can jump 20 foot in the air with a mutation. That's fine. Another one was antibiotics help disease cure. They help you cure a disease or whatnot. It's like, that's not how antibiotics work. But, you know, if it's a blast zone that gets to you, then fair play. I think I'm pretty well known for rambling off on a tangent, you know, just going off on a chat about something else while trying to remain focused and failing miserably. So yeah, it's just part of my stream, I suppose. It's just who I am now. I obviously play a lot of Fallout 76. I've got 8 characters on it now, but they're all different builds and stuff. So, you know, you'll jump on, you play some quests, you'll do some dailies, you'll do some events and stuff, and then you'll just sit there idle and talk about something completely different, which is part of the fun of live broadcasting, I suppose. Alright, so we're on to blowing up mainframe cores, and that's what the Hollywood special, donated by the lovely Viewbot331, that's what this weapon's for. It's for blowing up mainframe cores, see? It does it relatively easy. If you've got an explosive 50 cal, bring it out, because it's great fun for this. You can just breeze through this, you don't even have to stop. You just walk straight from A to B and just destroy everything on the way. It's absolutely phenomenal. So if you do find a 50 cal with explosive on it, or any sort of faster firing weapon, then yeah, if you can get one with a reduced weight on it as well, super useful. Go get one of those, bring it in here. It might even be a submachine gun, you know? Just something that spits out explosive rounds that you don't have to worry about so much. The lighter, the better. Maybe this is an idea to pick one of the least favoured guns in the game, like the submachine gun that uses the 45s, or the 10mm submachine gun, you know, get yourself an explosive one of those, just use it simply, the 10mm one would be great. Fast fire rate, cheap ammo type, no one really wants them. Yeah, find yourself one of those and they'd be quite light as well. And then bring one of them, you know, just for the silo. You'd absolutely blitz through it. Other people have used grenades, but then I figure you can sell grenades so you can make money there. So don't use those, sell those, make caps off them instead. 10 mil rounds, I mean, yeah, who cares for 10 mil rounds? Having said that, with the season pass that's coming next week, this is sort of 30th of June, 1st of July time, the season's coming out. Apparently one of the rewards in that is an ammo converter. So you might want to just hold off on all your ammo right now. It could be useful. You could be able to trade it all in or convert it all into 5.56 or whatnot. So yeah, be aware of that. Okay, we're up to this bit, which is making the mainframe cores themselves. So ignore the first room, go through. Sentry bot's always there, never wakes up, always gets wrecked. Make sure you take the circuits whenever you can if you do a lot of silo runs. Because it's the circuits that help make the mainframe cores or repair them, and you'll be stockpiling those because you'll need them all. So clear any enemies off this area, you know, turrets, Soltrons, Robobrains, and Mr. Gutsies. They're all in this area. And then focus on the mainframe cores. Now, you can either prep some beforehand, and that means going into a silo, getting to this point, taking the mainframe cores, and then not drop a nuke, go out, repair them, and keep them. And then every time you come in, you just swap the 15 out with the ones that you have with you. Or you can just simply stockpile circuits and then come in, take the 15 out, go repair them, and then go put them back in. Either way works. Or there's a third option if you really just want to scavenge if you don't have components. You can search for 15 mainframe cores in this area. There are some that are actually working in the area, but it may take you a bit of time to find them all. Anyway, you've got 15, you go repair them, you slap them back in, you go through the door into the next room. Once you're into the launch prep room, what I tend to do is take out all the robots and turrets that I find in the area, then I will initialize the launch prep. If I do it that way, then, especially if I'm solo, then I don't have to worry about a laser turret in a corner just destroying one of the robots, you know, that I'm trying to protect. So I'll do that first. It may take a little bit longer, but then I'm kind of rest assured that I'm not gonna, you know, be slowed by broken robots later on. So I'll head around the outskirts of the room, destroying the turrets and any robots that I'm knocking about, and then I will start launch prep and we'll go from there. For anyone launching a nuke for the first time, I do recommend going through the protocol that Bethesda set out for you to hack the password and decipher the actual password itself. It's a cool way of figuring out and realizing and learning how Bethesda intended it to start with a keyword that's revealed piece by piece, day by day throughout the week. So I would do that cipher. After you've done at least one of those, then you know how it works, and then you can head to nukeencrypt.com to get your password each week, and then you don't have to decipher the code every week. So if you do need codes, then head to nukeencrypt.com and they will update their codes every week. It's super useful for people launching multiple nukes each day. Do bear in mind you will only need to put the code in once per silo, per character, per week. So let's say you launch Alpha, Bravo and Charlie on one character on the Tuesday. On the Wednesday, you shouldn't need to put in that nuke code again because you'll know it for the week. But the week after, you will have to learn the new one again. So do be sure to keep your eyes on Nuke Encrypt every week for your updated codes. Once launch prep is complete, all the robots in the area will die automatically. At that point, all you need to do is get your nuclear keycard, slap it in the hole, go over to the password, type in your digits, and then launch. Now, the Fisher Site Prime is in the southeast section of the map. We want to keep an avenue or a corridor open to fight this queen because we're not going to be fighting it in our power armor. So what we're going to do is head for this sort of launch where you cover pretty much all the other fast travel points and leave the grove open. That way, you've got a nice place to spawn in, and the chances are when you die, your respawn is going to be outside of the blast zone. Okay, so if you're too close, if the blast zone covers too much of that environment, then you could respawn in the blast zone, and that can be a bit of a problem, especially if you've got a bloodied build and you've got low health and that kind of deal, because your ads will really put you down. Bear it in mind, there are no bad nukes, only challenges. That's the difference, right? If someone drops a nuke wherever they drop it, it's not a bad nuke. There are no bad nukes, okay? It's just a challenge. They're just offering a challenge. If you want to take it on, you can. If you don't want to, then you don't have to. Happy with the nuke? Let's launch it. Okay, we're going to travel down to the overgrown Sundew Grove to take on a queen. Let's do this. So this is the grove, the pink trees in front of you. That is what the point of interest is. The overgrown Sundew Grove. We're going to pop our survival tent up here, and we're going to see if there's anything we can put away in our scrap box or into our stash box, before we have this fight. Obviously, the scrap you've got on you, if you do die, you will drop potentially at the end of the event. Also, be sure that if you finish the event and you're nearly dying, if you do die, you will lose your flux that you've picked up from the end of the quest. You won't be able to get that back, so do bear that in mind. As soon as the event's finished and you've got your flux, get it to a stash box at one of these survival tents, because that will be dropped and you will lose that if you die. We're just making sure all our gear is repaired and ready to fight, because we don't want that letting us down here. Okay, so charisma perks, what are we looking at? We are going with Field Surgeon to get our Radaway and Stimpaks to work a little bit faster. I was thinking about Lone Wanderer, but then I figured, you know what, I don't want to experiment here on this recording, so we're going to go with Party Boy, which gives us 3 times better benefits of alcohol. So if we use whiskey for that, we're going to get +6 strength, as opposed to the +2 it originally gives us. Don't forget you can make whiskey, so you don't have to worry about your numbers and picking them up around around Appalachia. You can simply go and farm them, go and use a brewing station and make as many as you need. Simply done. We're also going to go Psycho Buff as well, so they're the only 2 buffs that we're going to be using today. Whiskey for the +6 strength, and Psycho Buff to get us extra melee damage. Alright, let's watch this nuke, because it's always pretty to watch a nuclear bomb going off in front of your face. So let's have a look. Beautiful. Now, Scorch Beast Queen against Don Key. Let's see what happens. So this to me was an experiment. I'd taken 1 down before, but I was using like maybe 9 food buffs to stack my melee damage, and I thought, you know what? Let's give it a go without any. Let's just see, for our own confidence, whether we can take this thing down without any food buffs. Because obviously, like, you have to go and farm the food buffs. So if you can take it down without that, if you've got a group, then you know you're competent, regardless of who's on your server. So we tagged it with a 10 mil to get its attention. Its attention was obviously taken by this Mega Sloth, which was fine with us. It meant we could get in there and start chopping away. And it was this faster swing speed, +1 strength, Mole Miner Gauntlet, a Bloodied one, which was the main point of attack for us. We did die. Yeah. I'm not claiming to be invincible in this game. If you're a Bloodied build, you're a glass cannon. If you're a glass cannon, you're prone to die. It's the double-edged sword that you live off. You do big output, but if a bloke fly farts at you, you'll die. It is what it is. So we respawned in the blast zone, so I had to quickly fast travel out of the blast zone. This is the issue that I'm trying to tell you about. If the blast zone is too sort of central when you go to place it at the Fisher site, you could spawn into the blast zone, which is a bit of a problem. Got some ads here, which is going to help us out. We're going to actually stack our adrenaline off these, so that's quite useful. We'll be outputting more damage that way. If we can get caution or hidden, that would be super useful. There we go, we're in caution at the moment, but we are nearly dead again, so we need to make sure that our Stimpaks are on point. Pop to medics as well, so we don't have to take as much damage. And then the weirdest bug I've ever seen happened, and the Scorch Beast just ran on the spot for a bunch. And I don't know why this happened or whatever, but hey, Optimist, take that opportunity to just hack and smack and slack and whack and Butcher Pete the shit out of it, basically, in a nutshell. So the legend has mutated at this point. A fog crawler showed up as well, and I noticed there's Myalert Kings here, so I know that they're bastards. They absolutely are. So we've got to take them down super quick, or else they're going to give us some poison and grief, and I ain't got time for that. So we're straight back on to the Queen as well. Straight back in there. Hopefully we'll stay caution, and we're hitting 1600s, which isn't bad. I understand that the damage of this Bloodied weapon could stack a lot higher. It could be hitting 3,000, 5,000, 7,000, whatever it could do with all these buffs and with sneaks, and I get it. But this is a very casual approach to it. This is a Bloodied melee build with no food buffs at all. You can make the whiskey yourself. So whiskey doesn't spoil. You don't have to worry about spoiling whiskey or Yao Guai meat or any of the other food buffs. Now, I do have a list of food buffs, and I have done this before with a bunch of food buffs. So if you do want more information from me on that, head to my Twitch account and just drop me the questions. That's twitch.tv/BlackwellTV. Overlay on screen, unless I'm a lazy bastard and I didn't put it up. But there you go. So we're taking down this queen. We've been a few minutes, 3 or 4 minutes so far, and we've pretty much got it knocked off here. A couple more Scorched Acorn, obviously. A couple of mobs just dicking about and hanging about. One thing I will say is it was very lucky, very fortunate for us for the queen to land so often. I've seen so often, you know, when people... There are claims that if you're on top of the shed or if you're on a fence or if you're on a survival tent, the queen won't land. Maybe that is the case. I don't know. All I do know is we've gone solo here and it's landed plentiful amounts of times. This is the second time I've tried to solo it and it landed a lot of times, both times. Now, if I was to test a solo queen again and just stand on the survival tent and we could comparatively see if there's a difference, then yeah, maybe so. But I'm not too fussed, because when there's a lot of people in an area, in an event like this one, and the queen doesn't land because it's focusing on one character that's out of the way, then the aggro switches to another character eventually and it will land. And with a considerable amount of people on that event, you know, it shouldn't worry too much. It will inevitably land when it's aggroing someone who's in space, so I won't worry too much about that. So we got a crap piece of armor, but it is scripts. We got 9 scripts out of that one. So that's the queen done, with no food buffs at all. So yeah, I'm not claiming that this is the best Bloodied melee build ever. I'm sure there are sweatier people out there doing things a lot faster than me. This is just my Bloodied melee build. So if you've got any questions on it, how it works, let me know. Drop them in the comments. Hit that subscribe button if you like the content, you want to see more videos. Enable those notifications and then you'll know when we've uploaded a new video. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't. But if you didn't, please tell me why you didn't and I can improve. Alternatively, you can find me on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube and Instagram. My name is Blackwell. This is BlackwellTV. Take care of yourselves and I'll catch you in the next video. Have a good one.